Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Rants About Tech Live for this Friday, May 2nd. May 1st in Philly was so crazy. I want to forget that it even happened, but we'll talk about that too. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining me. I'm your host, Roderick. This is Rants About Tech Live, and I'm in Philadelphia right now, where, as you can tell, it's pretty sunny here. We got the light background here. Doing really good. You know, I feel so good starting the live stream with like no problems, no hiccups, no skipping, no stuttering. That week to get this together was so worth it. I'm glad you guys like stayed around for that. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. All right, so we got a few things on the docket today. We got some tech news. We got some eInk news. We don't have glasses today. I got things going on with my eye. We'll talk about that too. It's crazy. Allergies, pollen. This is so crazy the time of the year. How you guys doing out there though? As always, if you want to throw any comments, any questions down in the chat, no matter what I'm talking about, you can interrupt me. Feel free. People do it all the time. Just throw something out there. We'll change course. We'll circle back though. We always circle back. There are a few things that I wanted to talk about. One of the big things, so a bunch of like little headline things. And then we're going to get into some USI stuff. So I did a little deep dive into USI. I have a video coming next week on this very topic. So this is kind of like a test run from my USI knowledge. So feel free to give feedback. Again, today is Friday, May 2nd. Today is National Space Day. I mean, what's there to say? National Space Day. You gotta love space. That's the final frontier. That's where we're headed. Eventually, sometime. We don't know when, but I thought we had flying cars by now, so I don't know. But you know what's so crazy about space is that we got to the moon on power that on computing power no more than what we use in our calculators these days. And here we are with AI and super quantum computers, and we haven't gone back to the moon yet. So just food for thought. National Truffle Day. I like truffles, chocolate variety truffles. I think Lindt makes truffles. Lindor. I don't even know the name of the chocolate company, but they make really good truffles. I remember the first time I had a truffle was 1996. I was in Whitehall, Pennsylvania, in college. fresh out of Syracuse. Had never had a truffle before. Didn't even know what a truffle was. 18 years old. 17 or 18. I think I might have been 18 at the time. But yeah, truffles. Good stuff. I remember biting into the truffle and thinking the chocolate on the outside of the truffle is warmer than the chocolate on the inside of the truffle, which amazed me. I'm like, why is it cool? Why is the chocolate on the inside of this truffle cool to the touch, or the touch to my tongue anyway? Good stuff. So truffle day. Get you a truffle. It doesn't have to be a Lindor truffle. Just get you one. They're good. National Siblings Day. No matter how you feel about your siblings today, reach out. Say hi. Hello. Brother, sister, whatever. You probably haven't talked to some of them in a long time. If you're like me, I have to remind myself that I have siblings. The only one I care about is my brother, Larry. Big up to Mr. Goodman. How you doing, brother? Good morning. But what else we got here? That's it. That's it for the national days. Not too many things to be happy about there today, unless you like your siblings, unless you're one of the 1 percentile of the population that likes their siblings. And there you go. All right. Now that that's done, we're gonna start off with some applause, because this is the appreciation. Thank you guys for being here. We got 7 people in the live right now, so thank you for being here. I appreciate you guys. Thank you. I appreciate all the members of the channel. If you're a member of the channel, thank you. Shameless plugs right here. To the crew. They're in the Discord. They're talking. They're starting conversations. I appreciate you guys. Also, Discord link is now in the description of the video. So if you want to join the Discord, there is a link. It's a forever link. I'm going to start putting this in every video now. So we got a link to the Discord in the description of the video. So if you hear anything interesting today, you can guarantee we're going to be talking about it in the Discord. And if you want to join that conversation after the live, you're like, I like the conversation in the live. I would like to continue that. The Discord is where you go to do that. So you go to the Discord and you do it. Oh, snap. Let's give the shout outs to the crew that's coming in right now. Let's get the air horns going for eInk. How you doing, eInk? Good morning. Mr. Media coming in right now. We had Mr. Mike in here early, so thank you, Mr. Mike. We got Owen in here. I appreciate you guys coming in. Again, thank you for being here. To the crew, to the subscribers, to the people to the likers. Matter of fact, let's all go right now and just like the video. Off the rip, sight unseen. I mean, you've seen me, so it's not so sight unseen. But yeah, go hit the like button. Like I said, make sure you hit the Discord description, or hit the Discord invite link in the description if you want to continue the conversation. So that always be there for you. So I'm gonna start doing that every live. I think that's a good thing to start doing there. What else do we got here? Oh, continue the promos. Hey, if you want to support the channel, we've already talked about that. Subscribe if you want to see more of this stuff. And also, if you want to support, we have a website. We have t-shirts. I don't have one on now. I don't admittedly have one on now. But we do have t-shirts. We have a website, rantsaboutTech.com. You can buy t-shirts there. You can also buy nibs. We have ceramic nibs there. The nib sales are pretty good now. I mean, I don't know what it is. I made a post on Reddit. I think that post is what got more people driving to the site. So whatever got you going to the site, keep up the site traffic. I like it. I love it. So we got ceramic nibs there. We got ceramic nibbed pens there. And we got t-shirts. So you can show your support for the channel in that way as well. Buy a t-shirt. It's good to go. They're great. They're great. Lots of people in the chat got them right now too. So they feel great. Not only do they have a nice logo on them, they feel great. Sometimes I put it on just to feel good. So if you want to feel good, you go get one. I think that's all the promos. Let's get right into the rest of the show, shall we? We're going to start with some. All right, random information. You guys don't care about this. Admittedly, I know this. Just let me get through it. You don't care. Just a few things I want to say. This isn't tech related. I'm just taking some time to get some things off my chest. Let's do it. Pollen is everywhere in Philadelphia. If you are allergic to pollen like me, you're having a hard time right now. Take that pollen medication early and take it daily so it builds up. I didn't do that. I'm suffering right now. My eye is swollen. It was worse than this yesterday or the day before yesterday. Yesterday. Holy cow. I don't even know what happened. I went for a one-way ride, came back, and my eye was like swollen. Pollen, you can feel it creeping into your pores. I taste it. That's how much in the air. It's all over my cameras. I opened the windows the other day. Pollen is all over my cameras now. I've never had to dust cameras. I gotta do that now. And I never had like allergies to pollen before. Never had allergies to pollen. But now I moved to Philadelphia. Whatever's in the grass here, it's the grass pollen. I'm sure of it. I'm sure it's the grass pollen. I've never encountered grass pollen ever in my life until I moved to Philadelphia. So if you are like having emergent problems with like pollen and allergies, it's probably the grass pollen. I'll have to look up the technical name for the grass pollen, but that's probably what it is. Let's go to the chat real quick. Oh boy. Yes. Geez, again with bragging about the live stream. And you don't know the struggles. People were leaving the live stream in droves in the beginning when it started to sputter, and I was like, I don't even want to do a live anymore. That's how bad it was. It made me question my ability to hold the show. It's good stuff. Owen says, I have a question. What is USI? USI is Universal Stylus Initiative. We're going to talk about it. We're going to get right into it. But that's not to the end of the show. It's like the final story. That's like the big talk we're going to have. Dr. Ling, yo, what's going on? How's it going? Good to see you. Owen says, you know what? If you told me 20 years ago that we'd have communicators right out of Star Trek as phones, word, I'd have told you to go to hell. I don't think we're doing bad. Well, you know what? We're not doing bad. I still expect flying cars, though. I still expected flying cars in 2025. So, it's for whatever it's worth. For whatever it's worth, I just thought we'd be here in 2025. Owen says China is prototyping electric flying cars. Ooh, I know they got a robot army going on. I saw somewhere in the news. I didn't want to talk about that because sometimes that's a touchy subject, so I don't want to bring that up. Yeah, progress, absolutely. We're definitely making progress. We're getting there, Owen. We're gonna have flying cars soon, for sure. Sheen says every year at the Oshkosh Air Show, someone brings a flying car. Ooh, I didn't know that. That's interesting. So yeah, I mean, we're getting there. We're not there yet, but we're getting there. Aaron says, good morning, all. Good morning, Aaron. Flying cars are awesome. They flip a middle finger to traffic. Absolutely. Sheen says, good morning. I'm still here. Ceramic Nibs. Absolutely. Listen, Mike, if you haven't seen the Ceramic Nibs on the storefront, go check them out. They are incredible. I love them. And they're doing well right now. And I'm like I said, I think it's the post that I made on Reddit. I don't advertise, you guys. I literally started doing this as a service to the community. I literally started doing the custom nibs as a service to the community. And people because people would say in the comments, hey, I tried to do this a few times. You seem to be good at it. Could you do it for me? I'll pay you. I was like, sure. And so I created a site to do that kind of thing. But people seem to like it. People seem to think they're great. And no one's having issues with them. The bigger thing. So that's the thing there. But I think I should advertise more. I think I will start advertising more. I mean, I said advertising more. I don't advertise at all. I think I will start advertising, period. Now that I know people like them and their quality is good and enough people have them to where I know that no one's having issues with them. Now I feel good about advertising them. Kind of like the testing I'm doing with my clear ceramic nib that I'm developing. A few people have those now. We're testing. Problems, yes. Good things, yes. The good and the bad. But that's the process, right? That's the process. Hay fever. Could that be it? That could be it, Dr. Ling. I've heard of that, but I've never looked into it before. I only use palm nibs, says eInk, but I can use the rat nib and it is amazing, even better than the HM. I agree, eInk. So eInk is one of the people testing the clear ceramic that I have. She loves it. Jay loves it as well. Although he's had some issues with it, he loves it as well. I've never had an issue with mine. I mean, probably because I'm making them and I got tons of them here. So all my pens have them now. The clear ceramic. I haven't used a Supernote ceramic in any of my pens in at least a month now. So it's been about a month for me using the clear ceramic. And it's perfect. It's awesome. I love it. It feels softer than the normal ceramic that I've been using. And I can source it. And it's cheaper to source than Supernote's nibs, especially right now with the tariffs. All right, what else we got here? I am putting a link to to your website. And listen, Aaron, I appreciate you, bro. I really do. That I feel that. You know what I mean? I really appreciate that, bro. Hit me right here in the heart, Aaron, with that one. Thank you. Not saying that many people watch them. You do. But you know what, though? I notice your viewership is going up. And also, the quality of your videos are going up. So as long as you keep at it, brother, you're getting there. And like I said, I support your stuff wholeheartedly, Mr. Media. And matter of fact, you guys, if you haven't checked out Mr. Media's channel, 2530 Media, go check it out. Subscribe. He does really good 10.3 content. He does really good stylus content. He does good books content, period. So if you're into the books ecosystem, you owe it to yourself to check him out. Although this eye is the swollen eye, this eye looks red. These allergies are killing me, you guys. I'm gonna have to take some Claritin or something. Your boy got. I never take medicine. I broke both arms once. Yes, your boy broke both his arms. I broke both of my arms at the same time one time. I live a hard life. I just do stuff. You know, I just don't pay attention to the risk involved sometimes, and I just do things. And this led to me breaking both arms. I didn't take any medication for that. I'm sorry, I did. I started taking Motrin. If you're a guy, don't take Motrin. Find something else. Don't take ibuprofen at all, okay? Just, if you're a male, stay away from ibuprofen. I mean, it has an effect on about 30% of us, an adverse effect on about 30% of males, if you take it in certain doses. And the doses they were giving me for breaking my arms were so high, it was causing me problems. This is a tech show, right? We talk about science here. ED is science. I suffered crazy ED from Motrin. If you're a guy, don't take high doses of Motrin. Anyway, why did I go down that road? The point here is that I don't take medications. So I don't think about taking medications for the pollen and the allergies when they come on, because I just don't take medications for anything. I like feeling the pain, so I'll know what state I'm in. That's why I don't take any medications. Like, they're like, sir, this could be a lot easier on you. I know it could be. I don't care. I don't like the pain, but I want to feel it. I want to know what's going on. So anyway, I don't take Claritin for that reason, but I'm about to start because I can't do this. I was sneezing like I don't know what yesterday. I can't do it. Morning. Oh, The Rock, what's going on? Thanks for joining us. We're just getting through some like rando topics right here. We haven't even gotten to the tech news today. We're still in just conversational mode. 18 minutes in. It's a good time. I don't have glasses today because of the pollen too. That's just, everything's puffy. Everything's puffy. All right. Pollen's everywhere. We got through that. May Day in Philly. Yesterday was May Day. Let's see. Owen says, Rants About Tech slipped a disc in my back about 10 years ago, became an alcoholic and a codeine freak. Oh, listen, that happens. Most times it's morphine. You know what I'm saying? Most times people get caught on that morphine because they suffered an injury and they're trying to recover. So I totally get you. 11 years clean this year. I'm good for painkiller addiction. I feel you. Yeah, I don't do painkillers at all. I hard pass on them when they're offered to me. I don't do them. I like to feel how I'm feeling, so I'll know what's going on. Mr. Media says, breaking both arms at once is crazy. ED talk on the live stream is crazier. Yeah. Listen, if it's relevant, we're going to talk about it. If it's relevant, we're going to talk about it for sure. Oh boy. She-Ink says, anyone in chat have a USI stylus? Yes, that would be good to know. Thanks, She-Ink. And definitely way to go. Owen, for sure. Congratulations too. All right. What else we got here? May Day in Philly. So let's take a look at May Day. May Day in Philly was crazy. I just feel like we should show what May Day in Philly looked like. Do I have May Day in Philly? I do. This is Philadelphia. Just to give you guys a taste for what it was like here yesterday. Look at that. There was a May Day protest here in Philly yesterday, and they were blocking traffic like it was no mañana. People were upset yesterday. If you were driving yesterday, you were mad as hell. I was not. Thank goodness. I was not. But yeah, so that's May Day in Philadelphia. It was crazy. It was crazy. Now, let's stop that. Oh boy. All right, what else we got here? We got. I need a new doc. The doc that I'm doing my live streams with. I don't know if you guys remember. I did a doc review on my channel a while back. I love that doc. That doc was freaking awesome. It had 3 ports for monitors. It had like 8 other different ports. It had 3 USB-C ports, like 6 USB-A ports. Power delivery, 100-watt power delivery, 20-watt power delivery for one of the USB-C inputs. 4K 60 hertz every monitor. I'm lying. If you were doing 4K 60, it was 1. You could do 1080p 60 on all 3 though. It was great. It burned out on me one day. I don't even know what happened to it. I woke up one day, tried to come do a live stream. It was dead. I had to go buy another one. This one's not that good. I thought it would be. The monitor flickers out every now and again. If you guys need a good dock, get a good dock. Don't settle when you go buy a dock, because if you're trying to put a lot of stuff into one thing, you want that one thing to be good enough to handle all those things. This clearly is not. I skimped out on this. I should not have. But I'm gonna fix this ASAP though. I'm in the market for a new dock. If you guys got any suggestions for me in the chat, let me know. Your boy's in the market for a new dock. And I need it to be 4K 60. Okay, I need 4K 60. I don't need 3 monitors. I don't need a dock. I don't need to connect 3 monitors here. Okay, I got my MacBook Pro. Okay, and then I got another Acer monitor here that I'm using. I have a Microsoft Surface here for tertiary. Look at your boy using words like tertiary. That's from my science lab days. When you're in a lab, when you work in a lab, use words like tertiary and quaternary all the time. First, second, no, it's primary and secondary, bruh. Okay, anyway. Little lab talk for you there. What do we got here though? Yeah, I need a new dock. If you got suggestions for me, throw it in here. I need 4K 60 on at least one of the monitors. I don't need 3 monitor inputs. I need power delivery, 100 watt. You know what I mean? I need at least 20 watt power delivery for the USB-C to fast charge my phones or headphones or whatever I'm plugging into it. Okay. I need at least 6 ports for USB. It don't have to be USB A or C. It could be either a mixture of either. If you guys know of one, let me know. Let's go back to the chat real quick. I am hanging out in a live chat on Discord, Shink. Yeah, if you guys are just joining, there is a link to the Discord down in the description of this live stream. So if you want to join our Discord and continue these conversations that we're having here after the live stream, or if you want to go in there and just have a conversation real quick while the live stream's going, as you just saw, She-Ink's in the chat right now. Join, have a conversation, bring up some topics that we're talking about here. Or just tell me how funny I look. They do that in the chat as well. So I know they talk crap about me down there. I know they do. It's a good time though. You should join them. Mr. Mean says, I actually use a Dell dock station. Oh, how is it? How is that Dell dock station, Aaron? Owen says, Dr. Ling consistently between Denmark and the UK. Ooh, Denmark. Look at you getting fancy. Take a look at the call to get TS4. It might fit your needs. Ooh, let me write this down. Yeah, I am in the market for another dock. I clearly don't know what I'm doing when I go and try to find my own dock, because I bought this and it clearly is not doing it for me at all. I need someone to send me another one for free. I should have reached out to the company who sent me that original dock and told them, hey, it burned out on me. Could you send me another one? You know, I might do that. I love that dock. I wholeheartedly don't think it was the dock's fault, although it probably was. I love that dock, though. I love that dock. That dock was awesome. Partially, ooh, oh my goodness. It was a partially metal dock. Great. Not that big, especially for what it did. It was on the small side for what it did. Oh my God, that dock was great. Funny name, though. Funny name, but the dock was great. Let me write down the name of this doc that I just got suggested to by Owen. The TS4. And who makes this? Call Digit. Whatever. We got it. Aaron says it works good, but it might need to upgrade. I might need to upgrade to something else. I get you. So you're suggesting the old tech to me. Thank you, Aaron. Oh, Vlad, what's going on? Morning. Let's get the air horns going for Vlad up in here. I saw Vlad I think I saw Vlad in the Discord. Vlad, I'm gonna use you as promotion. If you wanna chat with Vlad in the Discord, you guys should definitely use the Discord link and join the Discord. Oh, it's a good time. Vlad's there. Even if he's not. Dr. Ling says, oh, and I checked out. Be grateful you're not here in the U.S. having to live through the... Yes, oh my God. We're going to talk about these tariffs. We're going to talk about some of this stuff. What is the name of the doc you are using? Aaron, I think it was called the... I'll find the doc name for you, Aaron, throughout the show. When we have a minute or two, I'm playing something. I'll find the name for you. Dr. Ling, I was over there for about 5 years. Over there. I love when people are other places and they say over there, meaning where I'm at in the U.S. Oh, that's great. It gives perspective to life when you hear things like that. Owen says, then did 2 years with Lockheed. Ooh, Lockheed Martin? Wow. I applied to Lockheed Martin a long time ago. They have a facility that builds rockets. Rocket components in Syracuse, New York. Oh, snap, Vlad said he did join today. Awesome. So that was Vlad I saw in there. Awesome. Well, thanks for joining, Vlad. Welcome to the Discord. All right. What else we got here? What was I talking about before we got into the notes over there? Oh yeah, we're still in Rando stuff. We're 27 minutes in. I haven't even got to the tech news. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm sorry. Let's go ahead and get through the rest of the Rando stuff. Spankings in schools. I don't know why I was thinking about this the other day, but I felt like I needed to talk about it on live. Do you guys remember spankings in schools? Like I thought I was in the kitchen cooking and I don't know why that popped into my mind. I'm like, that was such a barbaric time in our history. And I'm surprised that parents let that fly for as long as they did. I could not imagine sending my kid to school and then the teacher feeling like they need to beat my kid for whatever they did. That was a crazy time in our history when that was a thing. Getting like paddlings in school. Like if you're under like there's a certain group of people. I mean, none of the people watching this right now are in that group of people who don't know what I'm talking about probably. But if you're watching the replay here and you don't know what I'm talking about, there was a time in American history where you would send your kid to school, and if they did something wrong, the teacher had the right to like beat them with a wooden paddle. They bend them right over the desk and go to town. Thank you, sir. Man, I have another one style. It was the craziest time. Oh, man. And I was always getting in trouble in school, too. They send you to the principal's office. And the principal, if you got your teacher in the classroom had a paddle, she could whoop you, right? She could beat you. These are beatings. Let's not mince words here. These were beatings. She would beat you. And then if you got sent to the principal office, oh my God, his paddle was like 3 times bigger than the classroom teacher's paddle. Had holes in it. Like, oh boy, that was a crazy time. It was a good time though. It was a good time. We survived it, you guys. We survived it. We survived one of the craziest times in American history. Public schools when they could paddle us. It was crazy. All right, what else we got here? Andor. If you have not seen Star Wars Andor, check it out. I'm gonna wrap this up in a minute, you guys. We're gonna be done with these randos here in a second. If you haven't seen Andor, the Star Wars side story, it's really good. I've been watching that lately. The detail in this story is what strikes me. They go into so much detail that they didn't have to go into. The guy with the hammers beating the bell, they didn't have to go into that detail. When they're putting together parts in the prison, they didn't have to go into that detail. What else was super detailed? I thought they didn't have to do this. There are tons of things in this story that they go into detail on. They didn't have to do, but they do, and it makes it all worth it. So if you want a super detailed story, it's a Star Wars story, but it's a human story. It's just a good story. You could take Star Wars out of this altogether, and it would just be really good still. I don't care about many Star Wars stories. I'm there because it's Star Wars, but this story is really good. So if you want a good story and you're into sci-fi, check out Andor. The last two things, Sony wins the camera war, okay? I got Sony gear here. Sony wins. So it made me feel good when I watched MKBHD's Waveform podcast, and they were talking about cameras, and they were like, Sony wins the camera debate. They were like, we don't want to do a podcast just saying how Sony won. That would be boring. And I'm like, that's not boring. That's not boring. Yeah, they won. Sony. We're here. So I got all Sony set up, and I'm happy about that today. So bear with me, you guys. What else? Last one. Mark Zuckerberg looks... He's the only human being alive that can make Meta Ray-Bans look trash. Like, I haven't seen a person that wear Ray-Bans who don't look instantly cool. Mark Zuckerberg, though, not instantly cool at all. Matter of fact, when you see him, let's take a look. We got to look at a picture of Mark Zuckerberg with Ray-Bans on. This dude can't make anything look cool. Oh my, he just can't. It's impossible for Mark to make anything look cool, and he proves it to me every time I see him wearing a pair of Meta Ray-Bans. Here we go. How do you make a pair of the coolest glasses in the world look uncool? You do it by being Mark Zuckerberg. And it's weird because he's the one who, he came out with them. All right, we're done. That's it, you guys. My bad. That's it. Okay, all right, on to tech news. Let's do it. That Rando section was supposed to be 10 minutes long. It was 30 minutes. My bad. Supernote orders resume. If you're a Supernote owner or someone who's a prospective Supernote owner, you want to get you a Supernote, but you couldn't the last week because of the tariffs and the pause on shipments, you can now get them. It's May 2nd, and they've resumed the sales for those things there. So let's take a look. U.S. orders resume May 2nd with price adjustment. Let's go ahead and check out this Reddit post they made. Let's go ahead and check it out. Hi, U.S. Supernote community. Hi, Supernote and Ratta. How's it going? We appreciate your patience during the recent pause in U.S. order placement. We are writing to provide an important update regarding the resumption of orders and a necessary price adjustment specific to the U.S. market. U.S. customers can now start placing orders at supernote.com. As we shared in previous communications, recent changes to U.S. tariff regulations, de minimis exemptions, and we're going to talk about that too, have closed. As a result, de minimis exemptions have closed, and it have resulted in a significant increase in the costs associated with importing our products into the U.S. We have actively worked to mitigate these impacts and are absorbing a portion of these new increased costs ourselves, which I think is great. They're absorbing a percentage of the cost of the tariffs. That's awesome. I don't know of another company that's doing that. However, the overall rise in expenses is substantial and affects the long-term sustainability of providing our products and support reliably within the U.S. market. To navigate these regulation changes and continue our operations serving our valued U.S. customers, a price adjustment is necessary. Please note the following key details. And here we go. Effective date, Friday, May 2nd, today. Adjustments, about 10% price increase on affected products. This is lower than our previous forecast price increase because we have absorbed additional cost increases ourselves. That's important to note. Affected products, brand new devices and accessories. So older devices, no? That's a confusing statement right there. Unaffected products for now. Open box products currently held in the U.S. Our existing open box inventory is already located domestically and is therefore not subject to these new tariff-related cost increases. These items will retain their current price while these specific stock lasts. Future open box inventory imported under the new regulations will reflect updated pricing later. Please note that our U.S. inventory is currently limited, with accessories like pens and folios available only in the most popular variations. That's interesting too. We'll be expanding our range of options over time. Initially, delivering times for the U.S. orders will be slower than usual. However, as we continually expand our U.S. inventory, delivery times will gradually become faster. For customers outside the U.S., this price adjustment is specific to orders shipped within the U.S. Pricing and delivery times for customers in all other countries placing orders via Supernote.com remain unchanged. We sincerely apologize for any inconvenience caused by the price increase. This adjustment was a difficult decision made after carefully weighing multiple factors. We remain deeply committed to the U.S. market to continually improve our products and to this supportive community. Thank you for your understanding and continued support. Now, that is how you do it. Super transparent. Taking some of the cost, absorbing some of that cost themselves so that it's not such a drastic change for the consumers. I like the way they're doing this. I mean, Ratta can't do any wrong right now in my book. They've been handling everything the right way as far as I'm concerned. I would even go so far as to say they've gone above and beyond what I thought any company who's even doing it the right way would do. Does that make sense? I hope it does. Let's go to the chat real quick. We got some chat to get through. Duckling says, sorry to get political on everyone, but if this administration was serious about doing real Doge, Lockheed would be the first place they look. Ooh, that's interesting. That's an interesting take. Spanking in school. I feel like the teacher's power to discipline has been really taken away these days. It has. Is that good or bad, though, Dr. Ling? Is that good or bad? Owen says, Dr. Ling, well, on the bright side from that perspective, thanks to Donnie telling Europe to start defending itself, you won't have a defense industry much longer. Ooh. Call him Donnie. Dr. Ling says, kids these days can't hit them. No, you can't. The military's the same way. Like when I joined the Marine Corps, they could throw you in a locker, a cleaning locker, and like it would just be a battle between you and whoever threw you in there. and however it turned out when both of y'all came out what happens in a locker stays in a locker. I mean, that's just a mild example. But the military has calmed down on that too, because like you can't even say harmful things to recruits in the military anymore. Like I heard, and I don't know this because I'm a salty old dog. When I was in the military, none of this was a thing. But now in the military, if people are talking to you in a certain way and you feel stressed, there's a card you can throw up and be like, I'm too stressed, stop it. And they have to leave you alone. I don't know if that's good or bad. It's just different. I would have thought something of it when I was in the military had I seen that. But yeah, that's just the way we're going. I mean, that you can't physically harm people is probably a good thing, though. I'm not going to hold you. You know what I mean? Everyone's physical space is protected right now. That's not a bad thing. Canon has put out 2 new cameras that are nice. Which ones? No, Canon's nice. Canon's nice. Canon has good color science. I would love for Sony to have Canon color science. Canon color science looks like it was made by reptiles under the Earth's subterraneous floor, who came here from space a billion millennia ago, and they've just been dormant, making sensors for Sony. And then they sold them to Sony for what seems to be a bucket of rice and porridge. They got nothing out of this deal. The reptiles built the sensors for them. They got nothing. Anyway, yeah, I don't like Sony color science. You got to do too much to make it look good. But you know what Sony does win on? And this is the thing. This is the thing that most people neglect. And I don't understand how this is a second-rate feature. To me, if you're not in focus, who cares what the colors look like? Sony gets the focus. Oh, Sony never misses on the focus. They don't miss. Who cares how good your colors are if you're not in focus? Sony wins in autofocus. They get it perfect every time. That's why they're the best. You can work with everything else in post. You're not focusing anything in post. The white balance, you can change. The artistic color values, you can change. You know, framing, you can change that. You can't change the focus though. That's why Sony's the best. MS just increased prices on X. Oh, we're gonna talk about that too. We're gonna talk about that too, The Rock. That's in the lineup. Why are you trying to spoil my lineup, bro? Teachers' power. From just hearing from my friends who are school teachers, they're telling me kids are just not learning these days, and you can't even take their phones away. That's a real thing. Now, I've lived like 18 lives, you guys. Now, I've worked in freelance photography. I worked in freelance photography for about 4 years. I still do some freelance work every now and again. When I would go into schools for pictures, in upstate New York, there were schools there who had bags. When the kids came in, they had to put their cell phones in the bags. The bags were locked. They could keep the bags. The bags have to go in their locker. But they didn't have the combination or the ability to open the bags once they were shut. So for all day, the kids didn't have phones. You know what I saw in those schools that did that? I saw kids actually interacting with each other, laughing, smiling, having conversations. It was a beautiful thing. They should take these phones from kids while they're in school. Kids should have devices that do work in school, not social media communication. I would go so far as to say all kids need in schools is a browser. And then lock that browser out of social media sites. Don't allow apps. I think that would solve this problem. Instead of smiling at each other, we send an emoji. Yes, and that's the point I was trying to make here, Dr. Ling, with when I said the schools that had kids locking their phones inside of these bags. I forgot what they called this program. I asked the teachers when I was there because I was super surprised by it. Like I saw kids actually, like all the schools I went into, high schools, elementary, whatever, it didn't matter what grade level it was at. The kids weren't talking. They all had phones. The only talking they were doing was like, hey, look at this on their phone. You know what I mean? It wasn't like, oh, we're talking about what we're eating, or we're having a conversation about what we're going to do after this, or what happened last night, or things like that. I think you peeked at the show notes for sure. Did you see your worst fears about the haptics on the Boox pen came true? Yeah. Parmesan, what's going on? I did see that. We're going to talk about that too. We're going to talk about that as well. The Rock. I did peek at the show notes. Word. I had those cell bags in a Chappelle show. At a Chappelle show and Bruno Mars concert. It makes the experience so much better. I'm not watching from someone's phone in front. Oh yeah. Yep. Yeah. Those bags are really good at doing the job of taking the phones, putting them away. You get it when you're done with what you're doing, right? I love that. I love seeing it in schools as well. Yeah, we don't even look at porn on computers anymore. We look at it on our phones. Yeah. Like it's just life, right? And we already know that industry rules everything. So we've had that conversation. We don't need to do that twice. We don't need to do that again. All right. What else we got here? Supernote resumes. De minimis loophole closes. Let's go ahead and check out. So we got some information on. We just talked about Supernote and how they were saying that the problems they're having is due to the de minimis clause or loophole and tax tariffs and such closing. So let's take a look at what we got here. Temu stops shipping from China to US as tax rule changes. So let's take a look at the most important part here. What is the de minimis exemption? Let's take a look at this. De minimis is a Latin term which loosely translates to English as of the smallest. In this context, it refers to the U.S. trade rule enacted by Congress in 1938 to avoid the expense of collecting only small amounts of import levies. In the 21st century, after a series of rises to the threshold, it allowed retailers to ship packages worth less than $800 to the U.S. consumers without having to pay duties or taxes. So why is that important? What it does is say, if you have a package that's under $800, it's not subject to the taxes, levies, and duties that parcels that are over $800 are subject to, right? So what companies would do is they would say, okay, cool. They would break down bigger packages, right? Maybe say a company had a package that had 100 phones in it. That those 100 phones were I don't know, $10,000 or something. They're subject to a certain tax rate. But if you take that package and break it down into a smaller package and say of maybe 10 phones, now you can get that 10, maybe, no, we're talking $10,000, but maybe you can get that high cost down to under $800 for your package. So you put 4 $200 phones in one package. That keeps you at $800 or 800 or under, right? Now you're not subject to those taxes of having so many phones in one package, because that brings the price of that parcel up, right? So you break packages, bigger packages down to smaller packages that stay under the $800 mark, right? That used to be what people could do. So you would ship less things in a package, but you would save money because less cost for tariffs. That loophole right there is no more. So that's gone away. So it doesn't matter what size of the package, you're still subject to those tariffs now. So that's kind of what we're dealing with here in this de minimis clause being going away essentially today. The 21st century shipments under the exemption accounted for more than 90% of all the cargo entering the U.S., according to the country's Customs and Border Patrol. So that's where we are on the de minimis. That's why the companies are scrambling right now, because this wasn't a thing they had to deal with. As long as they kept their packages small, they didn't have to deal with the higher tariff percentages. But we're done with that. But they're done with that now. So that's just to explain what the de minimis loophole is in shipments and tariffs and things like that. If you keep your package under $800, you're not subject to the higher tariff prices. If your package is over $800, you're subject to the higher tax percentage. All right, let's go on to the next thing we got here, which is going to be, what do we got? Oh boy. Oh, what do we got? Oh, okay. Handwriting boosts reading skills over typing. Now, this is just a story I saw. We're going to take a look. Now, we're predominantly eInk users here, and that requires writing, right? And, whoa, let's get rid of this. Oh, what did I lose it? Oh, I lost my handwriting. Oh, no, here we go. New study shows handwriting boosts early reading skills more than typing. Now, I'm not a typer, you guys. If you guys know me, you've been around for a little while, you know that I'm not a typer. I am a writer. If I type, I'm pecking. I'm a pecker. Forget I said that. Moving on. New research published in the Journal of Experimental Child Psychology suggests that handwriting helps children learn to read more effectively than typing. In an experiment with 5-year-old pre-readers, those who practice writing by hand, either by copying or tracing, outperformed children who typed the same material on a keyboard across a variety of tasks. The findings provide strong support for the idea that the physical act of writing strengthens child's ability to learn letters and words. The study was conducted by researchers in Spain who wanted to better understand how different modes of writing, handwriting versus typing, affect early reading development. The recent shift towards digital learning tools has raised concerns that increasing reliance on keyboards may hinder key aspects of early literacy, particularly the learning of alphabetic and orthographic knowledge. Alphabetic knowledge refers to the ability to link letter shapes with their corresponding sounds, while orthographic knowledge involves recognizing familiar patterns and sequences of letters in words. So I thought this was a very cool piece of information right here. Now, I know that writing helps me learn information better. What I didn't know was that it helped in comprehension and reading. That's a new thing for me, and super exciting. I thought this was a super exciting piece of information here, and just reaffirms my stance on using writing tools in my learning experience or in my learning habits. So yeah, just a bit of information here that kind of like encourages the use of the devices that we already know and love using already. let's go on to the next story we got here. Next up, we have pen prices. Oh no, not pen prices. Tech prices rise. I think there was someone in the chat who was talking about this before, and we'll hit on that now. Let's go ahead and check. All right, so prices of tech rising all across the board, really. As we just saw with the de minimis exemption going away, you can tell that prices are going to be going up, right? Because they don't have that cost-saving mechanism anymore. As we talked about earlier, Microsoft is raising prices on all Xbox Series consoles. Xbox games confirmed to hit $80 this holiday season. If you're talking about buying, or if you're thinking about buying the Switch 2, an $80 game is nothing to you. As a matter of fact, let's be real. As a matter of fact, if you are a Nintendo consumer and you've been buying Nintendo products for the last 2 decades to 3 decades, you have already been spending $80 on games. So this isn't news to you, but it is probably news to the rest of the market, especially if you're a PC gamer. I game across all platforms, so I see the effery happening. I see it all. I know how cheap PC gaming can be. I know how expensive it can be, but I definitely know how consistently expensive console gaming is becoming. But anyway, yeah, so we got prices raising all across the board. So just talking about tariffs, we're going to be dealing with this for a little bit. Xbox prices going up, the actual console itself going up from $80 to $100 in price. Like I just pointed out here, the games are going to be $80 for these. Like I said, if you're a Nintendo gamer, then you're like, welcome to the party. But for everybody else, this is gonna hit home. This is going to be a tough pill to swallow. On that note, we also have Apple. Trump's tariffs could cost Apple $900 million this quarter. CEO Tim Cook says. I almost called him Apple Cook. Anyway, so the prices for tech across the board going up. And if you think Apple is going to absorb those costs like Supernote is, don't hold your breath, okay? they're passing those costs right along to the consumer. You can guarantee that. Super interesting. But something we're going to have to deal with. Something we're dealing with here in the U.S. and we're going to be dealing with for a little while anyway. Yeah, strap in, people. Strap in. Let's get to the chat real quick. Dr. Ling says, quote from I Think You Should Leave. Oh, was that a quote? I took that as serious. That's a serious statement, though. Owen says, I've never bought a new game. No, actually, I buy Civ day one. Okay. But any other game, I never touch until it's 40% off minimum. No doubt. That's actually a smart way to go for gaming. I actually just recently bought, I just bought a collector's edition of Red Dead Redemption 2, which I've been wanting to play for years. But it's been too expensive for me to just like say I want to spend $80 on that game. It was $10 like a month ago. I smashed that buy button so quick. So I feel you. Getting games on discount is the way to go, especially if you're a Steam user. All right, what else we got here? Let's look at Notebook LM. They have an app coming. I think that's exciting. All right, so Notebook LM has an app that's going to be in the making. Right now, if you're using Notebook LM, you've been using Notebook LM as a web app. You're just going to a site and using it there, which is cool. Not as efficient as it could be, but it's okay. It's okay. We have information from The Verge here that says, let's take a look. Notebook LM app is nearly here. You can now pre-register to get the app on the App Store, on the Apple App Store, and on the Google Play Store. The App Store version is expected to release on May 20th. And I guess the same applies for the Google Play version. So, interesting news here. May 20th, it looks like the date is going to be for the app. If you haven't used Notebook LM, let's pull it up here actually. If you haven't used Notebook LM, you owe it to yourself to give it a try. It is the most exciting AI tool on the planet right now. That to me, I mean, it does everything. See if I can open it up here. All right. So Notebook LM, you put your sources into Notebook LM, and it only works on your sources. So the chances of hallucinations goes down greatly to almost zero because it's only working on your information. It can make a two-person podcast based on your information. You can pause the podcast and ask the podcast host questions on what they're talking about. You can type in questions that you want on the info that you put in. You can ask it to analyze the information that you put in and give you pointers on ways that you can use that information or the best way to organize the information. It does so much. It used to be that you had to bring your sources into Notebook LM, but now Notebook LM has gotten to a point to where it will search the net for sources and bring those sources in itself. You can vet those sources if you want to. You don't have to use that option if you don't want to. But Notebook LM to me is the most exciting AI tool on the planet right now, and it's adding functionality almost on a weekly basis right now. So if you haven't checked that out, check it out here. Now, like I said just now, it's going to be coming out with a web app soon on the 20th on the Apple App Store, and I think on the Play Store as well for Android, which would be dumb for Google not to release its product on its AI product on its own phone product on the day it launches on an iPhone. If that happens, I'm going to be upset, and you'll hear about it. But yeah, so check it out. It's coming. It's going to get its own web app, which is going to make it run a lot better. The problem now is that it takes a long time to get the AI functionality for the podcast to work, and some of the other functionality to work too, because it's working in a web app. When it gets its own native app, things are going to run a lot more smoothly, and it's going to run a lot better, in my opinion. At least that's the hope anyway. So I'll keep you guys updated on that, but that's coming here on the 20th. So keep your eye open and check out Notebook LM if you haven't already. What else we got here? Remarkable bringing useful. No. We have a 100-year pen. Let's go ahead and check that out real quick. Transition hadn't finished yet. 100-year pen. What does that mean anyway? Can we see? Can we find this? There we go. Perfect. Oh, did I? I closed it. Oh, my bad, you guys. I got to bring it back up. Bam. Oh, this tab is not working with me. It doesn't like me. Oh, there it is. We're good to go. Okay, here we go. So I thought this pen was interesting. Oops. I thought this pen was super interesting. Only because I like pens. I'm a big pen connoisseur, and a good quality designer pen, I'm here for it. I'm here for it all day. They've got some really interesting things going on with this pen. First off, it's modular, and you know we like modular here, okay? We like pens here, and we like good design. Intricate design, even better. And materials, titanium, I love it. Let's look at it. I mean, who's going to be around for 100 years? But, you know, it's a good tagline. It's a good tagline. I'm digging. Whoa. I'm digging that ball. Can I pause it? Yeah, I'm digging that ball right there that lets things slide under the clip. That's an ingenious thing. Lamy does something cool where they have a spring in their clip. So the clip is spring loaded, which I like as well. So lots of different ways to solve this friction problem on clips. What was that? Was that a million? Was that a million clicks, chat? Yeah, that's a million clicks. I'm digging this. I like a good writing utensil. It does have a calligraphy nib, Owen. Yep, it definitely has a calligraphy nib. Oh, that's cool. I'm not gonna hold you guys. I like that. I'm liking that. I'm liking it a lot, and I just wanted to bring that up real quick. Very cool idea. Modular. Yeah. Calligraphy nib. It's got knives on it. Good stuff. Definitely had to talk about that. All right, what else we got next here? Anthropic brings useful integrations to Claude. This is off. All right, there we go. Let's look at Claude real quick. So this is one of the things I was super excited about today. Is that Anthropic Claude can now generate invoices and PayPal and analyze sales on Square. Why is that big? It's big for me because Claude is the industry's standard for enterprise AI. Claude has been like implemented in most companies' routines so far. If it's an enterprise solution, Claude is implemented in some way. They're really good in enterprise space, and they've really proliferated the enterprise space. Consumer-wise, not so much. Like I'll talk to people about Claude, Anthropic's Claude. People don't even know who Anthropic or Claude is. They know OpenAI, Google, Copilot, all that. But Claude is, like I said, more enterprise-facing. So it's cool to me when Anthropic adds any consumer functionality to Claude, even though this is not really consumer functionality. Let's get into it. Anthropic announced a set of integrations on Thursday that allows its Claude AI service to take actions on users' behalf. Until now, Claude has been able to use available information to answer user queries. You tell Claude what needs to be done, and it can execute those actions across your different business tools. An Anthropic spokesman said. So this is, like I said, still isn't a consumer-facing product from Anthropic. Like I said, they're super enterprise focused. This is another business tool, but it's a business tool that I can actually use. Like I've never been able to use any of Claude's business tools before because I'm not at that level of business. But even at my level of business, I can use these tools. Who doesn't use PayPal? I built my site with Square, much to my dismay, but it's looking like a good decision right now. Like I literally hate my Square site. I've been trying to figure out ways to go somewhere else. I may stay at Square now and deal with the BS that I have to deal with them to get this kind of functionality, because I would love insight on sales, ways to improve what I'm doing. Yeah, I love it. Anthropic's Claude can now assign tasks to Asana, generate invoices on PayPal, and analyze sales on Square, and perform other duties across business apps. The integrations announced on Thursday mark the next phase for Claude, which has, to this point, been able to use available information to inform answers to users' queries. That sounds weird to me. As generative artificial intelligence rapidly advances, Claude is now taking actions on a user's behalf across a range of work applications, such as Zapier, Plaid, A.T. Ellison's, Jira, and more. I don't know what that is. Zapier I've heard of. Plaid I've heard of. And Zapier, who else just brought Zapier to their platform? OpenAI just brought Zapier to their platform as well. And I think they've also had Plaid for a while now. So this is kind of bringing Claude up to ChatGPT standards in that sense. You can tell Claude that what you need to be done, and it can execute those actions across your different business tools. The feature is currently available on the company's Max team and enterprise plans, with Pro coming soon. They would. I'm not going to be able to use this. Anthropic said that there's also a Zapier integration that can allow Claude users to draft and seek Slack messages and send Slack messages on their accounts, but there's no direct Slack integration yet. I think this is interesting, like I said, because two services that I use are getting Claude integration. I think that's great. I think that's awesome. Let's go to the chat real quick before we get into our eInk chat here. We're getting to the eInk news. An hour in, we're getting to the eInk news. That's supposed to be a 30-minute thing. We'll get there, you guys. We'll get there. Let's go to the chat real quick. Owen says, I've never bought a new... Oh, there we go. Got that. I'm available to send gifts, everyone. My cut is a modest and negotiable for bulk, no doubt. Dr. Ling says, look up. I think you should leave Brooks Brothers. I think you should leave Brooks Brothers. Ooh. Is that another thing I should look up here? I got to write that down. Else I'll forget. I got to see that. All right. What else we got here? Look, here's the thing about buying anything. You never look at market value. Ask how much value it represents to you. Yes. That's the thing. See, that's something, oddly enough, that's a lesson I learned playing video games that I'm having to use in real world business today. It's such an important lesson to learn in buying and selling. Know what something is worth to you. I legit learned this rule in video gaming. I played a game called EVE Online. I'm not sure if you guys ever heard that game before. And in that game, it's all about the economy. Players build things and players destroy things. And because you can destroy the things that players are building, players have to continually buy new things that ultimately get destroyed, that they ultimately have to replace and buy again. That keeps the economy rolling. In that game, I realized a couple things. That you can sell something in a region, or you can buy something in a region in that game for really cheap, take it to another region and sell it for really expensive. So that's where I learned that it's so funny. Video games have taught me so many life lessons. This being a business lesson, but it's sometimes, you know what it is? It's sometimes you don't have, it's because you don't have capital in life to deal with it in a disposable way sometimes. Like, I've never had disposable capital in life that I could just deal with in a way that was risky. But in a video game, you can take the money there and do what you want in a risky way and see what happens. It's like a test ground for business, if that makes any sense. But one of the things I also learned taking or buying things from one area really low and taking it somewhere else and selling it for really high, is that when you take it to a new place that doesn't have that thing, like there's this is how I learned this lesson. There's certain instances where you can take an item in the game, right? You can buy it for really cheap. Know that there's an area in the game you can sell it for really high, right? And because I was traveling around the game, I would also see areas in the game where no one was selling that item. And in those situations, I had to think to myself, okay, there's no precedence right now for how much I should sell this for because no one's selling it. I bought it for dirt cheap. I can literally sell it for whatever I want to right now. So I have to think, what is this thing? What is the value of this thing to me? Then I have to think, what is the value of this thing to other people? And in that way, you can make a decision on what you want to sell something for. And just like Owen just said, you can also make a decision on what you're willing to buy said item for, as long as you know what the value is and you also know what the value is to you. Very good point. Very good point. Owen says, I want one. The pins, I want one too. All of the movements. So what games are you playing now? You should check out South of Midnight. Ooh. South of Midnight. All right, so as far as games I'm playing right now, I play the nerdiest games you've ever heard of in your life. I play games that you need a manual to learn how to play, but I don't get a manual. I just work my way through it. I play games like Star Citizen. I was talking to Amy about Star Citizen the other day and how complicated and extreme it was. And like, okay, I'm going to start making content on this because it's so complicated that my brain eats it up. My brain just like, oh, I want to dive in. The complication excites me. I don't know why, but it does. So Star Citizen is one. And Star Citizen is a game that's like an open world. I love open world games where there's risk involved. You can get killed and shot and everyone can take all your stuff that you've been working so hard to get. I love it. I don't know why I do, but I do. Eve is the same way. But yeah, Star Citizen is the only game I'm playing right now. It's so involved and my brain loves it. Let's go to the next thing we got here. Let's go back to our little. Oh, that's it. Oh, we got one more thing here. Next story we got up is a Remarkable update. Now, this is not really a story, but Remarkable did just come up with a beta update. Let's go ahead and check out what update number this is. Let's see if we can get this on screen here. We don't know what number this is, but let's check it out. So this is a beta update, mind you. This is update 3.19.0.57. This is the same update they made with the Paper Pro, and we talked about that. We talked about the update when the Paper Pro got it. So this is just bringing the Remarkable 2 up to the beta version that the Remarkable Paper Pro is on. So nothing new here, but we'll talk about. But I'll mention what the release note says. So as far as the release notes here, we got what's new in the beta. We got grid size. You can now choose to preview your content with small, medium, or large thumbnails. Settings layout. We've made Cloud display and help their own sections to make settings more intuitive. Decoupling settings is awesome, and I think every software developer should be doing that. Sleep and standby. We've added a little message that tells you when your paper tablet is waking up. They've added some other things as well, but those are like the main things there. So if you have a Remarkable 2 and you're on the beta program, update your device. Check it out. Let me know what you think. Owen says, I'm too tight-fisted for Star Citizen. I learned my lesson after blowing nearly 70K in Eve just to start a fight. Yeah, Eve gets expensive. Star Citizen gets expensive too. I don't know why I like these expensive games. And complicated and expensive. Star Citizen has been developed for dang near 15 years. It's still in alpha after 15 years. It's great though. It's the only game where you can buy a spaceship and walk around on that thing. It's so crazy. It's an amazing game, dude. I play it and I'm like, oh, I can't believe how awesome this is. The Rock says, I'm about to check out the game Blueprints. Apparently it's really involved. You probably need a notebook to take notes. Ink. Yeah, that's one of the main reasons I keep the Nomad at the desk when I need to take notes on games. And I take notes a lot on games. She says she loves South of Midnight. I have to check that out. South of Midnight, huh? South of Midnight. I'm gonna have to write that down too now. Oh, I already wrote that down. Awesome. The art style was great. The story was new. We'll play it again. Oh man, she said she'll play it again. I gotta play it at least once. That's the biggest compliment of a game when you're like, I'm gonna play that game again. Because games aren't passive. They're super active. You have to be moving. You got to be thinking, moving your hands. You got to be in a proper position to do things. It's an active exercise. So if someone's going to go through that whole thing again, it's got to be good. It's not like passively watching a movie. I've watched the movies. You know what? I watched the movie 8 times back to back to back to back one time. You guys want to know what that movie is? Let me know in the chat. I'll tell you. Sheen says, hey Oz, that is a great question for our Discord. We have a good community who can give you input on that. Ooh. I didn't see that question. Oh man, I'm missing chats. My bad, chat. Okay, chat. If I missed your chat, it's because I had top chat on, not live chat. And that live chat thing is ridiculous. So if I missed it, my apologies. I didn't, it's not my intention, but we fixed it just now. Man, I missed a lot of chat. So yeah, my bad, you guys. If I missed, I probably missed the chat. If I didn't get to your question, and it's important to you, throw it back in the chat. I'll see it now. So my bad. But let's get to the recent ones here that I missed. Says, what do you think of Onyx Boox reliability? Ooh. Yes, Oz. We're going to tackle that. I'm going to touch on that in a second here when we get my next topic is Onyx Boox and the USI standard. So we're going to talk about that. And all of the movement says, "Oh, so you like MMOs?" Yes, I'm an MMO junkie. I'm nerdy as crap. Only a true nerdy nerd even deals with an MMO. You got to be a super geeky nerdy nerd to deal with MMOs, and I'm that. Owen says, look, the way I figured it, it's either really expensive games or really expensive women, and really expensive women are something I don't have the physical energy for it. You know what? Whew. Listen, I've been feeling like that for a decade. I'm not gonna lie to you. You put how I've been feeling for a decade into words, Owen. I gotta give you the applause for that one. I gotta give you the applause for that. That was so on point. Owen, I appreciate you today. Like you really put my life into perspective just now. You really put my life into total perspective just now. Thank you. I'd rather expensive video games. I'm telling you. I've been pro expensive video games versus the alternative for at least a good decade now. And life has been great. Like, life has been great. Doc says, can you also buy a spaceship and walk around in it in Elite Dangerous? I don't think you can walk around in the ships in Elite Dangerous. Do they have space legs in Elite Dangerous now? Let me know, chat. I bought Elite Dangerous. I have Elite Dangerous. I got the voice packs and everything. I plunked down a lot of dough on Elite Dangerous. I'll go back to it if they're walking around. If they got space legs in Elite Dangerous right now, I'm going back. I at least owe it to my past investments to give it a try again, if that's the case. I don't think they have space legs though. Can you even get out of the ships and walk around on planet surfaces now? Because as far as I knew, they tied you to a vehicle. You had to be in a vehicle of some kind at all times in that game. Star Citizen, you can be like walking around in FPS mode, just like having an FPS battle with a whole group of people. I love it. All of the movement says, Supernote says they are sold out of the Manta. Wow. Wow, they're sold out of the Mantas. That's interesting. Good to know. Thanks for that info, all of the movements. Appreciate that. And you're going to see Sinners this week. Let me know what you think. We talked about Sinners. I think that was last live on Wednesday. We talked about Sinners. I'm gonna tell you guys right now. I don't typically watch like ethnic movies. I'm me. I live that life. I don't need to see it in movie form. Unless they're doing it in a way to where it could be a story. It's just a good story. And the ethnicity doesn't even matter. That's my thing. When movies make ethnicity the backbone of the story, I'm out. But when you're just telling a good story and the ethnicity is just another aspect and facet of that story, I'm with you on that part. And I thought Sinners was the former rather than the latter. But it turns out it's the latter rather than the former. Now I want to see it. And the fact that it's heavily steeped in blues, like blues plays a big part in it, and I'm a big blues junkie, I want to see it now. So I'm definitely going to see Sinners as well. And I'm not really a big Michael B. Jordan fan. I think he's just too much. But I will see this because I've seen a couple people talk about it, and I'm like, yeah, I got to see it. Michael B. Jordan or not, I got to see it. Sheen says, all the movements, do you have any ink right now? Yeah, space legs for sure. Oh, park on a planet and take a look at, whoa, that's nice. Listen, if they got space legs, I'm in, The Rock. I got to go check it out again. I got to go re-download it from Steam. He's like, oh, right, you're on planet, you're in a buggy, but essentially space legs. Not the same thing, bro. If I can't first person shooter style get out of my ship, pull out a gun, and just walk around and start shooting stuff, I don't want it. Because that's what I can do in Star Citizen. I can do everything I do in Elite Dangerous and Star Citizen, with the exception of the economy. The economy in Elite Dangerous is where it's at. They don't have an economy in Star Citizen, so that's a different thing. And honestly, it's not even economy in Elite Dangerous because the economy is CPU based, not player driven. And so there's a divide there. It could still work though. I'll check it out. All right, what else we got here? I think that's the last story we got into our big story. Now we're on to USI. Now we're on to the big story of the day here. I'm gonna make a video on this, but let's go ahead and get started. USI. I am doing a video on this. It will be released next week. This is like my test ground. I'm using you guys as test subjects, if you don't mind. I hope not. I'm gonna test this out on you. If it goes well, I'll do the same thing on the video. If it doesn't go well, I'll change some things and then do that on the video. But here we go. USI, Universal Stylus Initiative. Let's talk about it. So, why do I care about this? And let's bring up some graphics here. Let's put up some graphics here. All right, here we go. USI, Universal Stylus Initiative. Now, why am I talking about this? Why do I care? What is it? Why is it interesting? The USI standard is another standard like Wacom. Okay, it's a standard that is a stylus standard like Wacom, but different from Wacom in a couple of key ways. We'll talk about those. We'll talk about those differences. But what I want to touch on first is why companies are even using it. Why is there even a need for USI when we have Wacom, which works really good, right? What is this all about? So let's go ahead and get right into this. Owen says, I'm not okay with being tested. Last time someone suggested testing on me involved a car battery and a Bethnet. Yeah, this isn't that evasive or invasive. This isn't that invasive. This is really painless, okay? Really painless. All right, so there's a few things I want to talk about with the USI standard. I want to talk about what their goal is, what their mission is, right? And their mission, as far as I can tell, is 4 things. But before we even get into that mission thing, let's talk about the technology itself and how it works. Now, USI is good for it's a standard that's good for screens that have touch capacitive displays already, right? Think of the iPhone, right? Touch capacitive display. You can touch the screen, multi-touch. Your fingers move things, input that way, right? The USI standard kind of piggybacks off of that capacitive touch technology. It does it in a different, or it uses a different protocol for the input than what your finger would use, but it works in a similar manner as the capacitive touch displays. Wacom works a little bit differently. Let's pull up that real quick. I don't want to show many graphics here because the graphics are going to go in the video and I don't want to reuse the graphics. I want those to be fresh to people who are seeing the video. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to do graphics. I'm just going to talk. We're just going to talk about this. All right. So the USI standard uses almost established technology already, right? Wacom standard uses proprietary special technology that the Wacom Corporation or the Wacom company uses themselves and has developed themselves. They license that technology out to other companies to use. Now, USI is similar in that way that they don't license the technology out to other entities to use because it's an open source standard, but you have to pay into being a member of the consortium to use the standard, which is a little bit different. I mean, it's less expensive than the licensing aspect of things, but still, it costs money to be a part of the USI thing. So it's not as open as I thought it was initially. So open standard, but it still costs money to be a member of the consortium. So of which they have a lot of members. And Wacom, surprisingly, is a member in the USI consortium. So they back the USI standard. Lots of reasons for that. You can make your own decision of why you think that is, because I couldn't find a real solid answer on why that would be and what that's for. But they are they are a member of the consortium for the USI standard, so that's a thing. But as far as I can see, there are a few things or a few reasons why people want to use or manufacturers want to use USI over Wacom. So let's talk about those now. The first reason would be consistency. And these things come right off of the USI site. They state plainly that their purpose is consistency, quality, and what else we got here? Cost. So we got consistency, quality, and we got cost. So those are the three fronts that USI is basically putting forth, not against the Wacom, because like I said, Wacom is with USI, but these are the touted advantages of USI over the Wacom standard. So let's talk about all those things individually. Now, those are three things that they cite on their site. I want to add one more thing to that I want to put into the conversation, and that's device thinness, okay? Because there's a lot of people who talk about device thinness with the USI standard, and we're going to get into it. The first thing we're going to talk about, though, is cost. So the recommendation, and all this information is coming and is widely available on the net. Like I said, I'll show graphics on the video that I'm going to make, but for right now, for the live, we're just going to have this live conversation. So the recommendation from the USI consortium for pricing is around $20 or under. That's their target price range for USI stylists. They target that price range because they're trying to make an affordable alternative to Wacom. And that's their suggested retail price. Now, people don't have to price their styluses that they're making at that price, but that's what the USI consortium is trying to push manufacturers to do. Sell these styluses or these styli. You know what? Let's just get this correct right now, you guys. I'm going to say styli for multiple stylists. I'm not going to say styluses. I'm not going to say multiple stylists. I'm going to say styli. There we go. Let's get that going. All right. So you don't have to price your USI styli at that price, but that's what they're hoping manufacturer will do. Keep the cost down to make the standard worth having, right? So cost is one of those things. My problem with the cost aspect is this. Let's take a look real quick. We're going to Amazon and we'll search. We'll do Amazon and we'll search. We'll do Amazon stylus or USI stylus search on Amazon for 2.0. Now, as you can see, we're going to go down the list of the prices for these devices. As you can see, there are only a few of these devices that are even at that $20 mark. Right? There are some. Matter of fact, let's sort by low to high. So we do have a handful of pens here that are under that $20 mark, which is great. That's what the USI consortium wants. They want these things to be these things to be affordable, right? But if we look at some, like we can tell that some of these things are sort of featured. Some of these things are pretty expensive. Like, right, we got a $60 one right here, another $60. That's the same one. $35, $50. So they're not all at that $20 mark, right? And if you look at Onyx, right, and what they're doing with their USI, even if you look at Remarkable with their Remarkable Paper Pro, who has a USI pen, Remarkable's pen is $129. The Boox pens, $50 or $45.99, $46. We don't even know that's the cost of the pen for the Go 7. The Tab XC pen, we don't know how much that's going to be. Like I couldn't even find a price for that on the website. It's probably going to be at least $80. So I'm not sure if the cost angle that the USI standard is hitting for is even being put into place. Now, it clearly is being put into place in some standards, right? And Dr. Ling just put it, or not Dr. Ling, but Owen just put in the chat, it could be a quality thing, right? I don't think it's a quality thing. I think that some people are going for that price point and some people are not. And if we're talking about quality, Onyx charges $50 for a piece of landfill trash. Quality of 0. On a scale of 1 to 10, it's a 0 for quality. Yet they charge them $50 for it. So I don't think the quality has anything to do with the pricing when it comes to these things. I think it all has to do with the margins. Okay, so now let's talk about costs when it comes to margins. Now, is it cheaper for manufacturers to make USI pins? Yes, absolutely cheaper for these manufacturers. These OEM manufacturers like Onyx, if Ratta gets into the game, remarkable. It's absolutely cheaper for these companies to make USI pins and technology than it is for them to make Wacom technology. For one, they have to license the Wacom technology from Wacom. The hardware to implement these things, I'm going to get into that in the video. The hardware to implement the Wacom standard is way more expensive than the hardware used to implement the USI standard. So there's lots of factors that make Wacom way more expensive of a technology to use for OEM manufacturers than USI, right? The problem is that cost isn't being passed on to the end user. And if it's not being passed on to the end user, can we really mark cost as being one of the benefits of USI? If the cost benefit is only benefiting the OEMs by increasing their margins, increasing the profits that they make off of us, that seems to be the only cost benefit to the OEMs, not the consumers. I mean, like I said, we just looked at Amazon here. I mean, less than half of the ones we look at are even below the $20 mark, right? Less than half. And if we look at the big manufacturers, Onyx, Remarkable, Lenovo, some of the other manufacturers there, none of their pins are at the $20 mark. So, yeah, it's a cost savings to the manufacturers. It's increasing their profits, but it ain't saving us no money. So let's throw costs out of there. Throw the cost benefit of USI out of there. Let's get it out of here, okay? Let's be done with that. Before I go on to the next point on my USI rant here, let's go on to the chat. Owen says, right, but do those price points dictate build quality? Not necessarily. The price points don't dictate build quality. The price points sometimes just dictate what the standard, the USI consortium is trying to push USI at. The price point they're trying to push USI. It's like Microsoft when they make Surface devices, right? They have a price point that they suggest that other OEMs who want to make Surface-like devices, they have a price point that they want those OEMs to hit, because Microsoft is giving them so much help to make those devices. They're like, okay, we don't mind giving you help to make these devices because we want you to make Surface-type devices, but we want a framework, right? We have a framework in place of how big the device can be, how much it can cost, the placement of the pen, right? We have a framework for how we want things to be on these devices. But the OEMs don't have to abide by that. It's just a suggestion. So the price of $20 isn't about quality, in my opinion. It's about the suggestion of the standards members. But no one has to go by that. The Rock says, I think the price standard only refers to the USI sensors. The company is free to build an expensive pin around it, but with a standard, it forces interoperability and low cost options. Yes, I agree with that. That's what I was just saying. I agree with that. The company is free to do whatever, right? And that's just what I was just saying. The framework is there. The suggestion is there, but they don't have to take that suggestion. They can do whatever they want. And as we can see, they are doing whatever they want. And even though the USI consortium is saying low cost is one of our benefits, no one is even taking that. No one's even making none of the big OEMs are making low cost options. If we look at the low cost options, let's take a look at Amazon real quick again. If we look at the low cost options, they're not from any of the big vendors. Whoa. They're not from any of the big vendors here. We got the first one here. It's $10. I don't even know who this is. I don't know who this. The next one for $13. It's a pen for Lenovo, but it ain't a Lenovo pen. It's compatible with Lenovo. You see what I'm saying? Like the pens that are the price that the USI consortium wants them to be at are the pens. Now those I think are the generic ones, right? This and this may not even be about quality. This could just be about these are the only people who are doing it at that price. So yeah, I mean, these aren't knockoffs, don't get me wrong, but these aren't top tier OEMs that we're seeing these sub $20 pens from. Right? And that's the problem. And I don't care about the lower guys. I care about the top tier guys because those are the ones I'm buying devices from. Like Onyx. Remarkable. You know what I mean? Amazon for that matter. Owen says it opens a market though. And can you imagine buying a stylus that has a design like a Dream pen using the USI standard and being able to use it on any device? We're going to get to that. That's one of the upsides there. We're definitely going to get to that, Owen. The Rock says same with the Wacom ERM. Patent expired years ago, and you can get a no-name AMZ pen or a nicer Lamy options or a nicer Lamy options are good. I didn't know that they patent expired. But it's like eInk. They got so far ahead that it's almost impossible for anybody to catch up. Compared with proprietary laptop pens, I think the Microsoft Surface is proprietary. It is a proprietary. And it's the only option. The Microsoft pen is proprietary and it is the only option. But that's my point here. We're gonna get to this interoperability thing. So now we talked about cost. Throw cost out of there. This isn't a low cost option. I mean, if after seeing what companies are charging for top tier USI devices, you still think this is a low cost option, holla at me. We'll talk about it. But this is not a low cost option. There are cheapest crap Wacom pens out there too. Just like there's cheapest crap USI pens out there. But just because there's cheapest crap Wacom pens out there, don't mean Wacom is a low cost option. It is not. It is not the low cost option. But then again, USI is not the low cost option either, as we can see. No one's taking them up on that. They're just using that. They're just using those cost savings to save them money and to increase their margins. Okay, so instead of cost savings, they should really put here, companies, you can increase your margins with this. That's the real advantage to cost margins. And as consumers, we don't care about margins. We want a cheaper cost. You're not going to get that with USI. Not right now. All right, next thing we got is consistency. That's one of the things they mention on their site. Cost being the first one, consistency being the other thing. So let's break consistency down a little bit. What does that mean? Consistency to me means standardization, like making a standard format, like how USB is. When your computer has a USB port, you don't wonder whether this USB cable from your phone is going to work and the USB cable from your tablet's going to work, or the USB cable from your, I don't know, whatever device you got. You know that they're going to work in every USB port because they're all the same standard. So that's what consistency means to me, is standardization, like USB or Ethernet. When you go buy Ethernet cable, you don't care what brand you buy it from. It's all going to work. You don't care what brand you buy. Well, some people care what brands they buy, but for the most part, that's not even a thing. Who cares? It's going to work. No matter what Ethernet cable you buy, it's going to work in that Ethernet port you have because they're all standard. So making something standardized is one of those things. Interoperability is the other part of consistency for me. This thing working on multiple devices. But there's a problem with that too. Let's talk about consistency. So, is USI a standard? No, it's not. It ain't low cost, and it's not consistent. There's no consistency with USI. There's no consistency with USI. They say that. They market it on that, but that's not true. Case in point. A lot of the OEMs, the bigger ones, the top tier ones, Boox, Remarkable, they're locking you out of using any other USI device on their device. Does that sound like interoperability to you? A company locking you out from an open standard? How? Why? That doesn't even compute to me. Onyx. Well, let's stay with Remarkable for a second. So Remarkable was the first eInk company to do this. You can't use any USI pen on the Remarkable Paper Pro. Stop it. Stop it. You can't even use the Remarkable Paper Pro's pen on any other USI device. Stop it. That's not interoperability. Onyx, on their website, they say specifically for the pen, not compatible with other devices. Does that sound like interoperability to you? Chat, I'm dumbfounded right now. I'm flapped at the amount of lies that's coming off of this like thing. Low cost, not true. Interoperability, not really true. I mean, yeah, it does work. It's cross-compatible with some devices. But is it like USI? Is it like USB? No. It's not. It doesn't have the interoperability of what USB is. Could it get there? Maybe. But I'm just talking about where we are today. And for someone to say, oh, you can use USI on anything. Any USI pen could go on any USI device. No, stop it. You're lying. You're lying. Companies are coming out and saying, you can't use our USI stuff with any other USI stuff. You can't. I'm telling you right now, you can't do it. That doesn't sound like interoperability to me. They should change it to PSI, Proprietary Stylus Initiative. Because it's super proprietary. It's not all inclusive or interoperable. It's neither of those. And the more I dig into this, I realize that the USI 1.0 standard ain't backwards compatible with the USI 2.0 standard. What? Even within their own standard, there's stipulations? Does that sound like a standard to you? My USB-C works with my USB-A, works with my USB-B. They all work. They all work together. They're backwards compatible. They all work. Because you know why? Because they're standard. My Ethernet, my Cat5 cable for Ethernet, it works with the new gigabit standard. You take that Cat5 connector, that the RJ45? You take that RJ45 connector, you put it, you throw it on some gigabit wiring, oh, you got a party. That's a standard. It's standard. USI, not so standard. All right, so there's no cost benefit. So let's be clear there. Consistency, stop it. Get real with yourself. Get real with yourself. It ain't consistent. Now, quality. We're going to talk about this consistency thing again, so we're not done with this. Quality. Let's get to the third thing on their list. The quality. I mean, do I even have to talk about this, chat? Do I even have to talk about the quality? I think Kit has done that enough. I think Kit has shown us that the quality of USI is not on par with the quality of Wacom. It's just not. I mean, I'm going to show some examples of this in the video. So I'm not going to show graphics here, you guys. I don't want to spoil everything for the video. The quality is not there for USI. Does it work? Yeah. Is it good enough? Yeah. But good enough for you to call it quality? When there's better out there? I don't know, you guys. I don't know, chat. The line quality is definitely not there. So the cost benefits aren't there for the end consumer. It's there for the manufacturers. They're increasing their margins. They're fat and happy. The consistency ain't there. It's not interoperable. And if it is, companies aren't using it that way. They ain't using it that way. Quality, we already know the line quality ain't there, so that's a dub. Now this is what I'm throwing here. Like, I'm throwing thinness into this conversation. This isn't on their website anywhere. This is one of their 3 principles that they're working on. But I'm going to talk about it anyway because people like to bring this up. Thinness. USI does not lead to thinner e-ink devices. Let's just dispel that right now. USI can lead to thinner LCD screens. The quality would be on the marker of the USI pen. Not necessarily, Mr. Media. Not necessarily. Because the programming that goes into the software plays a big part on how your lines look. Case in point, your Remarkable or your Supernote pen has different circuitry in it than your Lamy pen. If you write with your Supernote pen, Mr. Media, the line quality, thickness, and all that's going to be different than if you write with your Lamy pen. That's because of the circuitry that's inside. That's because of the circuitry that's inside the pen, but it's also to do with the programming that's inside the actual tablet. But that's not about the maker of the pen. That's a USI standard thing, the line quality. The maker of the pen just says, oh, I get this built-in technology to use. I don't have to make my own stylus software. USI has done it for me. I'll just implement it, right? My question would be, have people had this issue with Remarkable Paper Pro? What issue are we talking about? I'm not bringing up issues here. I'm just bringing up the points that the USI consortium has made, that they've come out with 3 things that they're trying to improve, right? And I'm just dispelling all of those things. None of these are problems. They're just not consistent. So no one's having a problem with the Remarkable Paper Pro, but I can tell you this. The line consistency on the Remarkable Paper Pro is crap because of this USI. I'm not gonna hold you. The line consistency with the Wacom Remarkable 2 is way better than the line. Let's take a look. I got both devices right here. There's no need we can't. There's no reason we can't take a look at both. I can show you the line quality between the two right now. One's Wacom, the other is USI. Let's take a look. Okay, so right here, all right, so right here we have the Remarkable Paper Pro over here, and we got the premium Remarkable Paper Pro pen right here. All USI right here, USI tablet, USI pen. Okay, we got Wacom tablet here in the Remarkable 2. And we got a Wacom stylus here, and this has a palm nib in it. So, USI, Wacom. Let's just do a line test. We're gonna come down here a little bit. Let's come down here a little bit. We could be optimistic, Jennifer, but the problem. Oh, let's go to chat. Just as an aside, Kit pointed out with a Remarkable Paper Pro, if you keep the pen straight upright, you get less wobbles. Yeah, but who writes like that? I don't. Jennifer says, Voya seemed happy with the performance of the USI pen with the Remarkable Paper Pro. He just didn't like the click sound. So can we be optimistic? We can. We can be optimistic. But I'm not hopeful. All right, let's check it out. So we got Wacom over here. And all I'm gonna do is follow this line. Yeah, dang. Okay, I gotta turn this upside down. Oh boy. There we go. So we got a line on both devices. All I'm gonna do is follow the line. This line right here, I'm just gonna just trace this line right here, you guys, and just see how it looks. Whoops. All right, so there we go. And now I'm gonna draw a line on the Remarkable Paper Pro real quick. And then I'll put these side by side and we'll look at them. Okay, chat. Dang, I gotta eat my words here. I ain't gonna lie. I gotta eat my words here. You can clearly see that the USI has less wobbles than the Wacom over here. Yeah, that surprised me. I didn't expect to see that. Let's do another test. All right, let me just erase that. All right, so we got Hello Worlds. Well, chat, I ain't gonna hold you. I'm not gonna hold you. I'm liking the USI pen look right now. That's the beauty of doing things live and actually doing some tests, because you uncover things you didn't think you would see. Yeah. Okay. All right. Line quality, USI for the win. Oh, I can take chat down. My bad. All right, there we go. All right, so I took chat down. So, yeah, Wacom, USI, and the USI looks good. I'm not gonna hold you, chat. The USI looks good. All right, here's a side by side right here. This is the line quality side by side. Wacom, USI. The Wacom line looks less wobbly. I mean, the USI line looks less wobbly. I'm not gonna hold you. Even when I was writing it, it's not like Remarkable smoothed it out any. As I'm writing it, it's just smoother. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take out. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take out my clear ceramic here. Oh, can you see it? Oh, can you see that clear nib? Oh boy, that's a thing of beauty. All right, so I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna take out my clear ceramic nib from the Lamy. I'm gonna put it in the Remarkable here, just to see what the line looks like there. Because it could be the palm nib. We're gonna find out. It definitely could be the palm nib. We're gonna see. Come on. There we go. Okay. Oh boy. Oh, the clear ceramic. You gotta love it. Oh, this nib is great. I love this nib. I have them in everything. I love this nib. They're not available to buy yet, but they will be. Okay. All right, so we have the clear. We got the clear ceramic and the remarkable Wacom pen now. So let's go ahead and redraw this line. Wow, why is this thing? There we go. Okay, we're back. All right, so let's go ahead and redraw this line real quick. Oh yeah. I ain't gonna hold you, not as wobbly, but not on the level of, it's not on the level of the Remarkable Paper Pro with the USI. So you know what? USI for the win. Okay, USI for the win, no doubt. All right. Listen, I like being wrong. I mean, I'm okay with being wrong. It's to me, when you're wrong, that means you're on the right path of being right. So there we go. So yeah, there we go. That's why I do this. So when the video comes, I've done this already. I know the results. We can talk about it confidently then. All right, let's go ahead and take out this, let me take my nib out of this piece of landfill trash here and put it back in the goat stylus here, the Lamy. You gotta put that, there we go. Okay. All right, there we go. Everything's back normal. Oh, let me put the palm back into the Remarkable. I should just go ahead and put the clear in the Remarkable pen too, but I'm just like, I don't know. Maybe one day. It's hard for me to put it in something like this, but yeah, whatever. All right, so yeah, there we go, you guys. Let's go into the next thing we got. And I really am glad that we did that on live. Who suggested that? I'm not sure who suggested it, but thank you for suggesting it, because we weren't even going to do that. And I would have been barking up the wrong tree. Okay, all right. Put that there. What else we got here? Oh, thinness. Let's go ahead and talk about thinness, shall we? Try the test with a ruler. Ooh, that's not a bad, well, I mean, I don't have a ruler about, but I do have a straight edge. That's not a bad idea. Let's do the straight edge. That's actually not a bad idea at all. Let's do a straight edge. Let's put this here and see what happens here. Oops, let's erase this first. Oh, that was too big. Wow, that's weird. The line didn't come out straight. And this is a straight edge. Yeah, that's very weird. Why would that be? And it's dipping in the same Well, let me see if that happens on the Remarkable Paper Pro. No. Wow. Dude. How USI for the win right now when I'm talking big crap about the line quality, and the line quality is better than Wacom, at least on the Remarkable platform. Magnetic interference? I don't think so. From what? The case maybe? Even if it is magnetic interference, they both have cases on them, and it ain't happening. Oh, you know what? Oh, no. Oh, could it be that I just drew a straight line with this thing? No, No. that's just a really straight line. Wow. Okay. Chat. I'm flapped right now. I'm flapped. I'll take it out. I'll take it out of the case just to see you guys. Just to cut magnetic interference out of this equation. I took it out of the case. Let's try it again here. Oh, wrong pen. Nah, it's still like curving. It's so weird. Yeah, that's such a weird phenomenon. It's not a straight line, even though I'm like legit, like just drawing a straight line. Pressure all the way up against the edge, it's still curved. Yeah, that's really weird. Matter of fact, let me see now. Now I'm wanting to try this whole thing on everything. Same thing. Wow. Oh, this is a stroke erase? That's interesting. I wonder if that's something you can change in the settings that they added, because that didn't used to be the case. Okay, so the Supernote is like drawing the line after I draw the line, so it's hard for me to discern. Yeah, but it's not as nice as the line that I drew on the It's not as nice as this line right here. And this is not a line that was fabricated. I didn't just try to draw a straight line and it drew one for me. This is the edge of this card right here. Same with this. Only after the fact now you can see that the Supernote has straightened the lines out after the fact. So it does something with the lines after you write to make it look better. Yeah, it refreshes and then makes it totally straight. That doesn't happen here. It's straight as I'm drawing it. Very interesting. Very interesting turn of events there. I'm super interested by that. I got to do some more testing on that. Definitely got to do some more testing on that. So the magnets didn't affect that curviness at all. It's just, that's just the phenomena of the Wacom standard on the Remarkable. But yeah, I'm super excited about that. I'm super excited about that. So let's go ahead and finish this out with you guys. So line quality. We were talking about line quality. I thought that the line quality wasn't as good. I really did. Everything I had heard up until this point led me to believe that. And they've improved this on the Remarkable. It didn't used to be this good. They've definitely improved it on the Remarkable. So, yeah, kudos to them for making that good. Because it's really good. It's better than what I'm doing on the Wacom tablets right now. I'm gonna have to do some more testing before the video comes out because this is new to me. But yeah, this is super interesting. All right, so the last thing I want to talk about is the thickness. Oh, actually, let's go to the chat real quick before I end on that. Yeah, we got a lot of chat. Let's get through this chat real quick. All right, so The Rock says couldn't be sure, but Boox might be saying not compatible with their other devices, which are almost all EMR. They could be saying that, but what they said was only compatible with the Go 7, which means that it wouldn't be compatible with the Tab XC. Do we know that? No, we don't. I'm just going off what they said, but very good point there, The Rock. I appreciate that. Mr. Media says the quality would be on the marker of the USI pin. Oh yeah, I think we got to that. Another thing says just an aside, Kit pointed out with the Remarkable Paper Pro, if you keep the pinch. Okay, I think we got to that too. We got to the Voyage thing. All right, we got to Aaron says try it with a newer tablet like the Manta or the 10.3. Good point. We'll do the Manta. We'll do the Manta and we'll do the 10.3. Where is that? Yeah, we'll do the Manta and we'll do the Goat 10.3 here. All right, we got the Manta there. Oh, maybe I should just put another page in here. Okay, so we got 2 more Wacom devices here. Let's go ahead and check it out. For consistency's sake, we're going to use the same Remarkable 2 pin that we were using for the Remarkable 2. For consistency's sake. And let's go ahead and see about these lines. Oh yeah, you can see there it's not super wobbly like the Remarkable was. Way better than the Remarkable on the wobbles for sure. But still not as straight as the USI. Let's try with the Goat 10.3. Oh, now that's good. Now that's good. Now that's what I come to expect right there. Listen. Whoa. That's why this is the GOAT. That's why the GOAT 10.3 is the GOAT. The GOAT. These lines are super straight. Like even before the anti-aliasing takes place, it's a straight line. There are no like dips in it. There are no wobbles in it. It's a straight line. I mean, anti-aliasing takes hold really quickly, so it straightens it out really quick. But yeah, so this is the way it goes for me. The Remarkable 2. Whoops. So the Remarkable 2 lines are the worst in the Wacom section for me. The Supernote is better than the Remarkable, but not as good as the Goat 10.3. And then you got the Remarkable Paper Pro here, which just has a really remarkable line. I really like that. The line is really good. So the line on the Remarkable Paper Pro is on par with the lines on the Goat 10.3 in my opinion. So USI, Wacom, but they're totally, these are totally 2 acceptable lines right here. So USI not as bad in the line quality as I initially thought, or maybe it's just gotten better since the days of me seeing other people's videos and them talking about it. The GOAT 10.3 still proves why it's the GOAT. Like you're gonna have to, a lot is gonna have to happen to dethrone the 10.3. 100%. A lot would have to happen to dethrone that thing. All right, let's go on to the next thing we got here. So the last thing we got is going to be thickness. Now I was talking about thickness. Not that the USI Standard Consortium talks about it, but people seem to think that devices are going to be thinner because of USI. The line quality, good. So 2 out of 3, not bad. 3 out of 4, even better. But really, you're not going to get thinner eInk devices because of USI. That's not going to happen. Oh, we didn't even finish the chat. Let's finish the chat first before we dive into that. I think a more objective test is to use a ruler. Sheen says, I don't know. I almost feel like that is due to anti-aliasing on the Remarkable Paper Pro. Well, the thing is, I looked at it right when I was drawing it. And as I was drawing it, the line is super straight as I'm drawing it. Usually anti-aliasing doesn't happen until you lift your pen and then it goes. As I was drawing it, that line doesn't look any different on the Remarkable Paper Pro. It looked good while I was drawing it, as good as it looked after I got done drawing it. So I don't think it's anti-aliasing eInk, because like I said, I was looking as I was drawing it to make sure that anti-aliasing wasn't taking place. All the movement says eInk. My use cases for Remarkable Paper Pro is PDFs. I have to annotate and manage tons of PDFs, and a bigger color screen is great for this. I agree. Also, document editing by hand. I don't know about that though. And I am slowly switching over to my calendar in a hyperlink PDF on it. Love color blocking my time each day. That's a cool feature. I like the Remarkable Paper Pro for PDFs, but that's it. I don't want to write on it very much, and the colors, forget it. Try the test with a ruler. I don't have a ruler on test, Dr. Ling, but I hope that straight edge was good enough. I love my Remarkable 2 as an expensive ebook reader, reading lots of novels and devotionals on it, and it's way better than the Scribe for annotating. I love the Remarkable 2. Infinite Scroll, this is I use this device for my live streams exclusively right now. The case. Well, Wacom EMR, Dr. Ling says Wacom EMR is case, so case magnets would affect. Well, Wacom is EMR, so case magnets would affect. Not sure if USI would be affected. I'm not sure either. But it doesn't look like it's affected by the case. You're not the only one who thought USI was worse. When Remarkable Paper Pro came out, Kit did straight line tests and they were wobbly. Yeah, they were wobbly. And I took that opinion from Kit's initial videos of the Remarkable Paper Pro. And I'm not even, stop. From my own experience with the Remarkable Paper Pro, I thought the lines were super wobbly. So they've definitely done some work on that. It's gotten better. It didn't used to be that good. So it just got better without me noticing it. Mr. Media says the GOAT. Ed will still not agree. No, he won't. No, he won't. What do we got here? Let me get some Coke first. Coke. Your boy looking for a sponsorship. All right, moving on. All right, thinness. So, no, USI is not going to make e-ink devices thinner. Does USI have the ability to make tablets thinner? Yes. Why? I'll explain it. So, in-cell technology. If we don't know what in-cell technology is, let's take a look at this picture I got. This is the one graphic I'm going to show today. The one graphic I'm going to show today. So this is in-cell technology right here. This is why people think USI is going to make tablets thinner. Now, up top, we have what they call outcell, okay? Where everything is like divided. You got your cover glass, you got your touch sensor layer, the LCD layer, and then you got your 3D touch sensor layer. This is all for capacitive touch displays. The second image we got down here is over glass displays or overcell displays. So we got outcell, overcell is the second one, and that pretty much combines the LCD layer with the touch sensor layer. So you still got a glass layer, you still got a 3D touch sensor layer, but the LCD layer and the actual digitizer layer are combined into one thing. Save you some space. Now, in-cell technology is the last one we have down here, where it's just two parts: the panel and the glass screen. And the panel consists of the LCD screen, the 3D sensor, the capacitive touch layer. It has all those layers in one panel. So that is in-cell technology. All the layers in one panel. Now, people think USI will make devices thinner because putting USI in devices allows you to take advantage of in-cell technology because it's compatible with the in-cell technology. Wacom is not compatible with the in-cell technology. So that's why people think that the USI standard can make devices thinner. And they might. They have the ability to. But that's never going to be a thing for e-ink devices. We're never going to see thinner e-ink devices because of USI. Why? Because e-ink doesn't work with in-cell technology. In-cell technology is only for LCD screens. And because of the electrophoretic nature of e-ink, we can't use this kind of technology. So no. Will devices get smaller because of USI? Maybe. Will e-ink devices get smaller and thinner because of USI? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And that's the thing. So thinness won't be one of those things we're looking at. So the four things I tackle today: USI cost, a non-factor. Who cares? It's only saving the manufacturers money and increasing their profits. Who cares? Consistency, Not very consistent. Not how it is in the market today. It's not interoperable. Remarkable Paper Pro pen doesn't work on another USI device, and another USI pen doesn't work on Remarkable Paper Pro. That's not interoperability. I mean, in between USI standards 1.0 and 2.0, you can't even use devices. So that's not interoperable. So we can cut that out. So cost, non-factor. Interoperability, compatibility, non-factor. Who cares? They're not proving that fact right now. Quality is the only one they came through on, was the quality. And the quality is just on par with good Wacom. Not better than, just on par with good Wacom. And it used to be worse. So quality, I'll give them that. I'll rein in my rant about quality. Now, the last thing, thinness. I tacked that on. They didn't say this. I'm tacking this on because the eInk industry is always interested in stuff getting thinner. We won't get thinner devices because of USI. It just doesn't work that way. So USI, not more cost effective for the end user. Not interoperable right now in this market. Quality, at least on par with Wacom. We're not surpassing Wacom, so let's chill out. Let's calm down, okay? This is still a poor man's Wacom. Chill out. And fourth is thinness. We're not getting thinner eInk devices because of USI. So, last thing I want to touch on this USI topic is going to be advantages over Wacom. USI pins remember their settings. That's excellent. That means if one day they all do become interoperable, they are not right now, but if one day they do all become interoperable, you'll be able to take one pin that has your line thickness setting on it, the color setting on it, it has the pen tool that you want to use on it, it has what you want your eraser to do programmed on it. You can just take that programmed pen to any USI device you want and it will work. You don't have to go and choose the tools. The tools are saved onto the actual pen itself. That's one advantage. No one's taking advantage of that though. So many things have to be in place for us to be able to take advantage of that, and none of that is in place right now. So we're not be able to take advantage of that anytime soon, but that is one of the promises of the USI standard. Think about this. Remember those old Bic pens? Remember those old multicolor Bic pens? I know y'all remember them things. Look at this. I know y'all remember these. I know y'all remember these right here. Chill out. Chill out. This brings back memories, don't it? If you was an OG like me, you didn't have these little bitty multicolor change pens. You had a huge big one. I don't even see a big one here. Oh, that's pretty big right there. SpongeBob know how to do it. I had a big one. Like this thing was like this big. Had 8 different colors in it. Imagine having a Wacom pen that had a stylus tip for different colors, and you didn't have to pick different colors. You could just push the slider down for the pen color that you wanted, and your Wacom pen would remember that I'm red. Another Wacom pen will remember that it's blue. Another pen will remember that it's yellow. And then you can just switch between those pens. They already know the criteria that they're working with. I think that's great. It's a promise. We ain't here yet. It's not here yet. Someone did make that big pen though with the USI with 4 different USI colors in it. Someone made that pen. I haven't seen it. It was a prototype. So, but people were talking about it. I'm like, that's awesome. That's awesome. Don't get me in trouble, Dr. Ling. All right, moving on. So that's one of the advantages. The pen remembers the settings, which means you can have a pen for every color, a pen for every line width. You can have a pen that's just an eraser. You know what I mean? Speaking of which, I got designs right now. I'll leave it at that. Yeah, so pens that retain their settings is awesome. Haptic feedback. It's the last thing we're going to talk about, and I'm gonna end this rant on this right here, you guys. if the best we can do with haptic feedback and e-ink pens is giving us a shake whenever we're writing, it's rumbling and bumbling when we're trying to write to simulate the fact that you're too cheap to make a really good nib that gives you some feedback, some reverberation in your sensing of the pen, like the Supernote nib does. The Supernote ceramic nibs, that's one of the reasons I like them. You get tactile feedback. You feel the surface under what you're writing with. Yeah. That's called reverberation. That feedback reverberates through the pen and you can feel it in your hand. You don't need electronic feedback when you have a pen that's actually doing its job. That's one of the reasons I love the ceramic nibs. That's one of the reasons I wanted to create my own ceramic nib, because that is a dimension of writing that's missing. That feedback. Ceramic nibs give you that feedback. This simulated feedback with the haptics in the pen, garbage. I haven't even seen it. I'm going to call it garbage right now because when I get it, and I'm getting it, I want to have to go on record sight unseen and saying it's garbage and then go on a live and then be like, yeah, I was right. It's garbage. I just don't want buzzing. They should have used it the right way. When you change a pen, give me a buzz. When I select something, I'm trying to select something as a confirmation that yes, we recognize that you're selecting this. Give me a slight buzz to let me know you got it. Okay, your circle that you try to do, it worked. Haptic feedback, bam, you know that it worked. That's the kind of feedback I want. Slight, instantaneous, go away. I don't need full-time feedback. Not electronic anyway. Not with that rumbling. I don't know what kind of rumbling they got going, but I don't think it's going to be good. So, but haptic feedback is one of the USI standards bonuses. You can get haptics in these pens. But it only matters if they use it the correct way. So I have no faith that Onyx is going to use it the correct way. They don't even know how to get their UI together. They clearly don't know what they're doing with haptics. Someone stop giving Onyx toys to play with and tell them to start refining their products a little bit. They need to get in optimization refine mode right now, not new product mode. Onyx. It's like someone who still has a contact with Onyx, let them know. Stop trying to innovate, bro. Iterate. Don't innovate. Iterate. There we go. I knew I was going to come out with a catchphrase today. All right, everybody, that's going to be the show for today. Thanks for joining me. If you guys got any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comments. If you're here still with the show, we got 15 people in here. Can I get 15 likes? If you learned something new today about USI, give me a like. If you're not subscribed to the channel, give me a sub. If you're not a member of the channel, become a member. If you're not in Discord, join the chat. If you want to continue this conversation after the live gets done, join the Discord. The link is in the description of this video. Just hit that link. You're in Discord, talking, telling me how wrong I am. I'm probably undoubtedly right about some things, but I'm not right about everything. You can tell me how wrong I am. All right, everybody. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 10 a.m. to kind of whenever. Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern time to kind of whenever. Thank you guys for joining me. I really appreciate it. You guys, I hope you have a great weekend. I hope you have a great Friday. And yeah, we'll do the weekend review tomorrow night. I hope you can join me for that as well. All right, everyone. Until next time, be safe and take care of yourself. Oh snap, Kurt. What up, Kurt?